I'm Max Darrow, and this is The Minute. Dozens of protesters calling for a ceasefire in Gaza were arrested last month for blocking traffic on the Bay Bridge. Well, now 80 people are facing charges, 5 misdemeanors, including false imprisonment. Westbound lanes of the Bay Bridge were at a standstill for hours. Air regulators have issued a spare the air alert through Sunday, bans wood burning in the region during that time. Because of the low overnight temperatures and light winds, wood smoke could be trapped in the air. It's the first spare the air alert of the winter season. The 49ers could clinch the NFC West title this weekend as they face the Cardinals in Arizona. The Niners are looking for their 6th straight win. They are 10-3 this season and at the top of the NFC standings. Kickoff is Sunday at 1:05. And the Bay Area's only primetime newscast at 8 and 9 p.m. on the all-new PIX Plus 44 Cable 12. Well, it was a feeling of here we go again for people who live near an East Bay refinery. A public health alert went out after more flaring at the Martinez Refining Company. The latest flaring incident, which started Friday morning, put out a foul odor in the neighborhood. It smelled like rotten eggs, people say. People who live as far away as Crockett reported smelling it. As the war in Gaza rages on, Israelis this morning are grieving the death of 3 hostages who were shot and killed after IDF soldiers misidentified them as threats. It happened in the city of Shujaiya, which has been the scene of fierce fighting over the last week. The IDF says it is taking lessons from this incident and transmitting them to soldiers in the field. The U.S. is urging Israeli leaders to wind down the heavy offensive against Hamas. CBS News correspondent Wendy Gillette has the latest details from New York.
Israel's military released this video of airstrikes in Lebanon against alleged Hezbollah targets as the war continues. In Tel Aviv, hundreds of protesters marched and blocked highways after learning Israeli forces killed 3 hostages in a case of mistaken identity during a firefight in Gaza. This man asked how much longer the families of the remaining hostages will have to wait to see their loved ones. The Israeli army announced how the 3 hostages were killed and promised a full investigation. U.S. National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan met with the Palestinian Authority's Mahmoud Abbas as U.S. officials pressed their counterparts in Israel to wind down the fighting in Gaza and figure out a plan for the future.
The Israeli government has indicated that it does not have a long-term plan to occupy Gaza, and that ultimately the control of Gaza, the administration of Gaza, and the security of Gaza has to transition to the Palestinians.
Al Jazeera says the network's chief Gaza correspondent was injured in an Israeli strike in southern Gaza, and a photojournalist was killed. As the fighting rages on, protesters gathered in Los Angeles calling for a ceasefire.
Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu says he feels deep sorrow about the accidental killings of the 3 hostages. In New York, Republicans and Democrats have named their picks to replace former Congressman George Santos in the 3rd Congressional District. Yesterday, the GOP nominated Mazi Pilip. She's currently a Nassau County legislator, but previously lived in Israel and served in the IDF. The announcement comes a week after Democrat Tom Suozzi launched his campaign for the open seat. Suozzi is a former 3-term congressman and has been in the political arena on Long Island for decades. Voters will get to decide who will take Santos' seat in a special election on February 13th. A jury in Washington has reached a decision in the defamation case against Rudy Giuliani after he defamed 2 election workers in Georgia. Michael George has more on the verdict tied to lies about the 2020 election.
After deliberating for about 10 hours, a jury awarded Ruby Freeman and Shay Moss $148 million in damages, payable by Rudy Giuliani. That's more than triple the amount asked for by their lawyer.
The absurdity of the number merely underscores the absurdity of the entire proceeding, where I've not been allowed to offer one single piece of evidence in defense.
Giuliani repeatedly said he would take the stand, but never did, and his attorney presented no case. The former lawyer to President Trump accused the mother and daughter election workers of exchanging electronic drives to flip votes in Georgia after the 2020 election. An investigation by Georgia's Secretary of State concluded Giuliani's allegations were unsubstantiated, and in August, the judge ruled Giuliani liable for defamation. Throughout the trial, Giuliani continued to spread lies about the women. The women shared the emotional toll after the verdict.
I can never move back into the house that I called home. I will always have to be careful about where I go and who I choose to share my name with.
It's likely they'll never see the full $148 million amount, according to CBS News legal contributor Jessica Levinson.
What it will do is set up essentially a payment scheme, and Rudy Giuliani will never become a wealthy person. Any money that he makes should go to making this verdict, to paying it towards this verdict and trying to make the plaintiffs whole.
Giuliani says he'll appeal.
Arizona's governor is taking a big step to address issues at the southern border. Yesterday, Democratic Governor Katie Hobbs ordered the state's National Guard to the border to help federal officials manage an influx of migrants. She says she issued the executive order because, quote, the federal government is refusing to do its job to secure the border and keep the community safe. At the border, the National Guard will provide support to local law enforcement and the Department of Public Safety to stop drug smuggling and human trafficking. Hobbs is also seeking to reopen a border crossing that was closed earlier in the month. The Biden administration says they closed that crossing because staffers and resources were needed elsewhere. A legal fight is brewing in Texas over a controversial border security bill that Governor Greg Abbott plans to sign. The bill would give Texas sweeping new authority to essentially act as its own immigration law enforcement agency. It gives officers authority to detain undocumented migrants and, if a judge deems it necessary, send them back to the country where they came from. Constitutionally, that authority rests with the federal government, not the state. So now the American Civil Liberties Union, or the ACLU, is threatening to file a lawsuit.
Our goal is to file the lawsuit far enough in advance of the entry into effect of the law in March of 2024 that we're able to present our argument in court and make sure that it's heard in time to prevent this law from ever going into effect and resulting in the arrest of a person.
Governor Abbott also plans to sign a bill earmarking $1.5 billion into border infrastructure, like a wall at the border. This morning, we're learning more about the tragic death of Friends star Matthew Perry. According to an autopsy report from the Los Angeles County Medical Examiner's Office, Perry died of, quote, acute effects of ketamine and subsequent drowning. Back in October, Perry was found unresponsive, face down in a swimming pool at his LA home. The autopsy report says the drowning was deemed an accident. People close to Perry say he was undergoing ketamine infusion therapy, which is an experimental treatment for depression and anxiety. But Perry's last treatment was a week and a half before the incident, and the medical examiner said that the levels of ketamine in his body were much higher than what is typically used in those therapies. A golf course in South Africa had some unexpected visitors. Lions, leopards, giraffes, and other wild animals took over a fairway. They're actually welcome at Skukuza Golf Club in South Africa. It's a 9-hole course in the Kruger National Park. The owners deliberately did not put fences up. Instead, workers patrol the course every morning before the players arrive to make sure it's safe to play. The club says the animals have not caused any major problems. Thank you for watching KPIX News this morning. Don't forget, the news continues all day on CBS News Bay Area. We will be back here tomorrow morning at 6 o'clock. Have a great Saturday.